channel. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be talking about in this video today, but I just want to ramble on a little bit, and I had a pretty good week overall, so I guess I'll just talk about my week. Actually, I'll start off with something that wasn't so good about my week, and I kind of spazzed out like a toddler or a teenager. I have a hole in my wall over there. I punched a hole in the drywall, which is the first time I've ever done that as an adult, and probably the third time in my life. The other two times I was a teenager, and not my finest moment, not bragging about it, but I'm looking at it. I've got the putty on, and I gotta sand it tomorrow, but I've been attempting to learn the guitar, and it was pretty frustrating at first, and I was getting kind of angry, and then I got a text message, and I check my phone, and it's my boss, and he's basically sends me a text message saying that I suck at my job, and then I fucking just flipped out, which really isn't like me at all. Like, I never flip out at all, but yeah, that happened this week, so I fixed that, and the patch job I did was comically bad. It works now, because I just kept layering on more and more putty, like a lunatic, I did like the landlord special, like shitty patch job, semi-shitty, like I used an actual piece of wood to anchor behind, but I pretty much just used cardboard instead of drywall, and then I taped it with drywall tape, and put the spackling on top, so it's gonna work and hold, but it's not like an actual, like I didn't go get a new piece of drywall and fit it and do it like the proper way. I just used what I had in the closet, which was basically nothing, like pieces of cardboard and that type shit, but it was pretty funny. Talking about funny, I was actually thinking about trying stand-up sometime. I might have already said this on this channel or my old channel, like years ago, that I was going to try stand-up, and it's one of those things that is in the back of my head and I never end up doing, because I don't actually write jokes, but I wrote a bunch of jokes this month, so I might try that. I don't know. Most of the jokes that I'm doing are pretty offensive, and I don't know if it would suit today's climate, but I wrote in a way of like making it funny, like it's not actually like going after like certain groups of people or anything like with malice, but I wrote in a part in the beginning where I'm giving like a fake name, and it's actually kind of funny, but I don't have it written in front of me, and I'm not going to say it on here because I don't know what'll get me demonetized or not. I was demonetized in the past, which really sucked, but at the same time, the channel was growing really fast, my old channel, and probably too fast for me because I didn't really know the direction it was going. So if it blew up at that point, I had a bunch of nonsense on that channel, which I probably wouldn't have wanted out there. And I don't even know if I want anything out there at all, period, to be honest. But I record these from time to time, like on a casual basis. And I look at the YouTube studio every once in a while, and I kind of figure out what's working, and I'm kind of like not fully committed to it, but I'm kind of like just feeling out like the algorithm to see if I can make a channel work. And I have another like blog channel where I'm doing like just stupid nonsense. It's not ASMR, and I'm gonna see if that works too. But like it's just kind of like throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks type thing with the YouTube channels. And I'm kind of getting more involved with like real life hobbies, and I might like film some of those and put them on, but I don't think anyone would watch that stuff. So I'm kind of in a part of my life where I'm not really online like I used to be. Like I used to be like a chronically online guy, and I'm not that anymore. I'm kind of more focused in the real world, which is much more healthy mentally. Because I went through like a couple year period where I was like the doom scrolling guy, and I'm out of that now. And now I'm like learning guitar, and I'm doing boxing and wrestling, and I'm going to the gym a lot more than I used to. Well, actually that's not true, because I've always been going to the gym a lot my whole life. Like ever since I was 13, I've been going 5 days a week. I did 2 a day. I was gonna say I'm starting 2 a days, but today was my first day doing 2 workouts in one day. Where if you're doing like bodybuilding or powerlifting, if you're doing 2 a days, like if you're working out, 12 to 14 times a week, you're gonna need like TRT or steroids or something. But I've been doing like mostly cardio based stuff, so I can actually fit in 2 a days if I'm doing high intensity interval and then like a more casual zone 2. So that's what I did today. I did in the morning, I did some heavy bag, I did some running with the interval training. I went up to like 17, 19 on the treadmill, and then I went back down and then back up and then back down and then back up and then back down and then back up, just to spike my heart rate and then make it stable, and then spike it again, make it stable. I think I got my heart rate up to like 172, and then within like 30 seconds I had it back down to like 130, and I was still at a jog. So like it's getting, like my heart is getting more built for endurance now, which is good. And I've never really had that through my weightlifting and my bodybuilding and my powerlifting type stuff. Like I did like calisthenics in middle school and high school, and I'm kind of getting back into that now to match with my my cardio, because I'm not doing like strictly lifting now, but I still need to keep muscle mass on. I can't just be doing like marathon like runs, like I'm doing mostly sprinting. If you're doing like all this cardio and marathon run type crap, you're gonna lose mass. So I want to keep like some calisthenics and some light lifting in there, so I'm not wasting away. But yeah, I've noticed like even I was gonna say my mood, because my mood's up too. But like just like a lightness in my step from the cardio. Like when I was doing like powerlifting, I was like really, really strong, obviously, because that's what powerlifting is, but you kind of feel heavy, and you are heavy because you're eating a lot and you're lifting heavy, but you feel even heavier than you are. Like if you're whatever amount of pounds, you feel like you're 30, 40 pounds heavier than that. Just because, I don't know what it is, the build, the excess calories, not doing as much, sprinting and stuff, just focusing on like powerlifting. But anyways, I feel lighter than my weight now, which is, it's a weird feeling now. Like I have like this like kick to my step or whatever. And I've noticed like my lungs are opening up. Like I feel my airways are different. Like I'm almost like coughing every now and again, like, but it's just because like I think my capillaries or whatever are just more open now, and I'm not used to it. I don't know what it is, but like it's not like an aggressive cough. Like maybe I shouldn't even say it like that, but like it's like just like one cough like an hour, like clearing my throat, and it just feels like it's opening more. I don't know. But yeah, I feel pretty good, and I did my cardio today. I patched the wall today. I was practicing guitar today. I did wrestling yesterday. I went to like this going away party earlier in the week, which was good. We played a card game, which I was kind of zoning in and out, and I think everyone thought I was a moron. Well, they did, because I was zoning in and out. Everyone was like crazy into it, and I was like semi into it, and I was like ADHDing in my head, like drifting off, and like they were all convinced that I had like an IQ of like 1. But really I have an IQ of 750,000. But yeah, it was a little bit of a awkward thing, like kind of being like, I don't know. It was a good time, but like if you're kind of zoning in and out, like people will just think that naturally. There's this guy that is at my gym that's like a sex offender or something. He was a massage therapist in a different town, like far away, and he was like grabbing people and like groping them and like you know perv stuff. And I think there was like a lawsuit, or he was arrested, and I don't think he served like prison, but he had like a court date, and then they held him for like a month or something. I don't know all the details, but he's just a weird dude. And I had a friend I went to high school with that had a run-in with him, and he's going to my gym, and like he posted his picture on like this dating site, like a dating group on Facebook, and it was public, and everyone was just like commenting like he's a rapist or something. And like I looked on that thing, and I went to his profile, and like everyone that went to his profile off of the Facebook post got blocked. So he like blocked me, and I'm seeing him at the gym, and he's like school shooter vibe. Like sometimes I have like mopey kind of quiet energy, like kind of some people. I don't think people are creeped out by me, but I have a dark energy sometimes, but it's kind of like I don't know what I'm saying right now, but like I wear black, and like I'm kind of quiet, so like, but this dude, he like shows up in like a trench coat, and it's fucking insane, bro. It's fucking insane. He shows up in a trench coat, and he's like practicing like this very dissociated like kung fu on the heavy bag, and it's like, it reminds me of like the Arthur Fleck Joker, when he's like doing that like dissociated dance to himself after he kills like those 3 people. And it's like this dude, he's in a fucking trench coat practicing like self-taught kung fu on a heavy bag at a public gym, and he's a sex offender, and it's fucking wild. It's absolutely wild, man. And he's like really paranoid about like anybody, like you'll say hello to him and he'll like fuck off to the other side of the gym. Like he's legitimately probably been like ran out of towns before. And he's like a traveling musician. He lives in an RV. Like it's just really weird. But so I saw that guy today, and it's always interesting when I see that guy, because I kind of like, maybe that's why I was gonna say that I have like a creepy energy, because I'm like quiet and I kind of people watch sometimes, but I don't want to make myself seem like the creepier, like he's like a rapist. But every time like I see him, like I'm kind of like watching him a little bit to see what he does, and he's always doing like the most weird ass shit, like the kung fu in the trench coat, and then he'll just be hanging out in the fucking bathroom with like a fucking avocado mask on his face, and it's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It's like, Jesus Christ, bro. But yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about him. I don't know why I mentioned the drywall punch. I don't know why I said any of this, but this is just what's coming in my head right now. This is part of my week. This is life. It's raw. Like, I'm not filtering anything that I'm saying, but I'm stumbling up a little bit because I don't want to, say anything crazy to get myself demonetized on here or anything like that. But it was interesting. Like, you had to be there to see him do this. And I don't like talking shit about people behind their backs. That's another thing. Like, even though he is an alleged sex offender, I don't want to say that he's for sure is, but there is a news article about him. And I didn't mention his name anyways or describe him or anything, so. But he is alleged to be that, and he's like really weird, but I still don't like talking shit about him. But he's a really weird dude, for sure. But there's so many weirdos out there, and I kind of like weirdos, to be honest. Like, weirdos, like, no one's normal. There is no such thing as normal, and like, if you look at like the Hallmark card, like normal, like polished person, like that's so boring. To me that's weird. And I'm not condoning like him, but I'm just saying like I do watch and notice, or maybe I should say notice instead of watch, because when I'm saying I watch people, it makes me sound like I'm some sort of peeping Tom going around looking in windows. But I notice things, and I notice patterns, and I notice like behaviors and like microaggressions people are doing, and it's interesting just to step back out of a daily grind and notice how people are acting around you or around other people. And yeah, this guy was interesting. There's a lot of interesting people this week, a lot of interesting people around me. My boss gave me a Christmas card, which I'm kind of sus on because it had like a gift card in it for like $150. And I've been working there for 6 years. They've never done this to me. And there's a job listing from them online, not for my job, but for one of the coworkers. So like he's either quitting or getting fired, or in my head, I'm like, are they doing like this crazy passive aggressive thing and they're giving me a going away card and they're gonna replace me? Like, that would be crazy. But like, I was kind of on my toes there for a second. Like, what the hell's going on here? But, hopefully that's not the case. If that's the case, it would really suck, because jobs, I like that job quite a bit. And jobs are hard to come around right now, so. But I definitely should have been more career orientated when I was younger, more focused on something that would put me in like a management position or like something hands off. But like, I was never the guy that wanted to tell people what to do. It always felt gross to me to tell someone else to do something. Like, even at the job that I'm at now, my boss put me in like this kind of shift leader type position where I'm training people, and he wanted me to come in and check on like guys when he couldn't, and I basically told him no. Like, it feels gross, and no one wants to be the work snitch for like, petty dollars. No one wants to be that guy. It feels really gross to me to climb this ladder, or to try to tell other people how they should be doing their job, or micromanaging people. Or, I worked security for a long time. I was a security guard, and like, I felt gross working security too. Like, you're telling people what to do, and it's like, who the fuck am I to tell anyone what to do anywhere? And then they assume that you're like some kind of cop wannabe. You couldn't make the force, and then they're making fun of you, and then you're getting angry, and then that actually pulls you into like who they think you should be. Now you're acting like the cop wannabe because you're getting made fun of, and you're like, what, positions. I like being on the lower piece of the ladder, to be honest. It feels more humble to me. It feels truer to who I am. It just feels right. I don't feel good being a boss. I feel better minding my own business and kind of just keeping my head down and doing work and not making a big deal out of it. Not like I do a good job and then you don't brag about it or try to, push it down everyone's throat. And sometimes when you're doing a good job and you don't brag about doing a good job or push it down everyone's throat, and then all the other guys are, bragging about how good of a job they're doing, then people will be like, think maybe you're doing a shit job and you're trying to hide something. So office politics are really weird, and I don't really like office politics at all. And the crazy thing about office politics is that it exists at any job, no matter how small. But yeah, anyways, I kind of just shot off a bunch of stuff out of my head. It was pretty quick. I didn't really pause for anything. I just talked nonstop pretty much this whole time. More talkative than my usual videos. I don't know if the higher pace will turn people off and, people would have left by now, or if it was entertaining, or if people are asleep by now. But I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, and I hope everyone's doing well. We're 22 minutes in. If someone fell asleep halfway in and then just let this roll, that's cool. As long as someone's, watching or whatever. But yeah, I've been doing pretty decent. Getting to the gym, doing the running, doing the working. Christmas is coming soon. Gonna see my sister. I got all the gifts. I had to buy like 7 or 8 gifts this year, which was pretty crazy. But I don't mind buying gifts. It might have even been another gift on top of that. I think this is probably the year to date that I've bought the most gifts. It has to be. Like, it could even be close to 10. Like, it might be 10. I'm having trouble remembering everybody, but I had to mail some out. But anyways, I think I want to wrap this up, but I just keep talking. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone has a good Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If not, holidays anyways. New Year coming up. I don't know if I'm going to post again before the New Year, or maybe around New Year I'll post, or I've been doing about once a month, I think. I have older videos from the old channel, which I might pull and put on here, so I might have some old videos uploaded. So if you see some old videos, they're still good to fall asleep to or use as ASMR, so don't freak out. And yeah, God bless. I wish everyone well. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thanks for watching, and peace out.